First story, former Vice President Kamala Harris is about to embark on a nationwide book tour for her upcoming memoir, 107 Days, but she'll have to do it without the help of the Secret Service because Donald Trump just revoked her protection. So here's how Secret Service protection normally works for vice presidents. Congress passed legislation in 2008 that authorized the Secret Service to protect former vice presidents, their spouses, and their children under 16 years old for up to 6 months after the end of a vice president's term. However, just before he left office, former President Joe Biden signed an executive memorandum that extended Harris's protection to 18 months. So Biden also extended Secret Service protection for his children, Ashley and Hunter Biden, as well as Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Trump revoked all of those as well. Of course he did. It's worth noting that secret security protection doesn't just include the agents by one side. So Secret Service protection includes constant analysis of threat intelligence and covering in-person situations, emails, texts, and social media. So Cenk, I'll go to you first. The timing of this seems very suspect. She's about to go on tour. Hopefully nothing is gonna happen to her while she's away, but she is still a very high profile individual. So what are we, is this a problem? Is this going to be a problem? What do you think?
Yeah, so it's dumb and it's petty. So because if she gets hurt, then it's gonna be an epic disaster for Trump. And what's he doing? Saving a couple of bucks? That's the ostensible reason for it. Dude, skip one golf outing and we'll be even, right? So it's just, I think it's bad politics because you seem mean-spirited and vindictive for not much reason here, right? And you're not being mean-spirited about a policy difference if you believe that there's legitimate threats against our leaders, which they are often talking about. I mean, Netanyahu was talking about, the Iranians want to kill all of our leaders. I don't believe him, but there are other real threats. This is not the thing to skimp on. And so, look, there's a tradition of giving 6 months, as you pointed out, for former vice presidents, no problem. Has that tradition been extended before? Yeah, many times, to Dan Quayle, to Al Gore, to Dick Cheney. And who extended it, for example, to Dick Cheney? Barack Obama did. And Cheney's a paranoid clown. And that's part of the reason we did the Iraq war. There's a lot of reasons for it, but that's okay. He felt unsafe, and he's the vice president of the United States, and Al Gore had just run for president, and that adds an extra layer to it. So if you extend it a little bit, as they had for Kamala Harris, not indefinitely, but they extended it for 18 months, let her have the extra year. So if something happens to her now, it's going to look terrible. And oh my God, it's gonna be terrible. So it's just a dumb move and shows his mean-spirited nature.
Elliot, what are your thoughts here?
Very similar. Also, didn't this guy almost get shot to death while he was on the campaign trail, like multiple times, and the Secret Service had to step in and make sure that he didn't have his life ended? And then didn't after that he'd come out and say how he'd changed as a person and how it really made him think about things? Where's that? Where'd that go? I mean, if you go through something like that ostensibly and you end up with this sort of life-changing trauma, I would think that would at least give you some kind of humanity, just a sliver of humanity to go, all right, fine, you can have your Secret Service. I'm sure Kamala will have private security, and she should, because the reality is that in this current climate that we're in, I don't think that she should consider herself safe at all. So I think this is a very hypocritical, very petty, and I do think you're right, Cenk, that this is a very bad move politically.
Yeah, and it's like, what is the point? Why is he still so obsessed with Kamala Harris at this point? Like, it makes you look kind of weak. I always have Mariah Carey songs stuck in my head, so this is just another excuse for me to quote Mariah Carey. So anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have something else?
Yeah, one last quick thing. As I've said a million times on the show, I always think shoe on the other foot. So let's say that Ro Khanna wins the presidency, fun times, and I'm advising him. And he says, should we take away JD Vance's Secret Service protection, even though Trump had extended it because he was worried about some specific threats? I'd be like, no, why would we do that? Do I like JD Vance? No, I don't like JD Vance at all. But I don't want to randomly endanger his life. And God, again, God help you. If something happens to him, then you're on the hook for it. It seems like it's totally your fault. So it's just very poorly played all around. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.